So let's talk about the dangers of relying on technology. When you have gotten used to using technology for everything that you do, you have a false sense of self. You have a false sense of what you can accomplish and what your abilities actually are. When technology is kind of like a crutch, it's like a support system, it's like a boost. So let's just say if technology was training wheels, or it take well, let's finish out the training wheel analogy. If technology was training wheels, it's there to assist you while you're on your way, while you're riding your bike. So you need to know the fundamentals of riding a bike in order for the training wheels to assist. Now that you have those um, foundational pieces down pat, now the training wheels can actually assist you on your bike ride, make your bike ride more sturdy, more enjoyable, because now you're not having to worry about if you're going to fall and trying to balance your weight and things of that nature. So that's what technology is meant for. It's meant for it's meant to serve as an assistant to what you already have going on, an assistant to assist you in your foundation of knowledge. But what happens when you completely rely on technology for the whole kit and caboodle, for the entire system, not as a boost, not as your training wheels, not to assist, but entirely. Technology is man-made. Man, not not technically men, but people are flawed. So since people make technology, technology will always be flawed. So you should never completely rely on technology, because what happens is technology will fail because it's not perfect. Nothing is. The creators of the technology is not perfect. Therefore, the creators cannot make technology perfect. They can continue to try to perfect it, but it'll never be perfect. So when you are completely relying on this man-made system and it fails, now you will actually get to see where your weaknesses are. You will actually get to see the fullness of your codependency on technology. You gained a false sense of self because you had training wheels on. You thought it was you doing all of this the whole time. Some people lose communication skills because you no longer have to communicate. Some people lose um, writing skills because you no longer have to handwrite. True, you are putting the words in a, you are typing the words out, but still when you write it out by hand, you're writing every letter. So Writing by hand is the practice of mindfulness that puts you in the moment, in the now. It makes you pay attention to what you are doing now, what you're writing. You're currently writing a A. Now you're writing a E. Now you're writing a T, and so on and so forth. So it puts you in a state of mindfulness practice. When you become codependent on technology, you're not mindful because you know that piece of this is a man-made system. You know that it's not, it's not connected to feelings. So it kind of desensitizes your feelings. It's almost like you begin to take on characteristics of the technology. And I feel like that may be why in this social media world that we're in, which is once again a man-made system, but that may be why we are so desensitized, and that may be why we have this pandemic of the nice nasty, or the pandemic of people being inauthentic, and that's just the norm. I like to call it the silly rabbit syndrome because sometimes you just have to sit back and allow silly people to be silly. And it's quite entertaining sometimes because they don't know that you notice how silly that they are being. So it's quite entertaining. But when technology fails and you have to go back to your roots with the way you systemize your flow, the way you get things done, the way you operate, it allows you to see what your skills truly are. It allows you to see what your skills are not. You have no autocorrect. We have to see your actual handwriting. So it's almost like it shows some vulnerability. When you're relying on technology, we're not seeing anything personal about you. So it trains you to desensitize your emotions and how you relate. When you actually can see somebody write their name down, you can see them write a sentence in their handwriting. It kind of connects you to that person because you know that a person wrote this. This is their handwriting. Well, they write like this, they write like that. So you are connecting to that person. You're not connecting to a screen. So let's just get out of the habit of relying on technology. Don't become codependent on technology. I know the world wants to push this AI. I know they want to push this technology driven world. But what comes next? After we become so codependent on it, what's next? That scares me, that we can forget how to be people and we can become so codependent on our training wheels. The training wheels were not meant, they were not initially made to become a staple of bike riding. It would look crazy if you see someone in their 30s riding a bike with training wheels, because everyone knows that a training wheel was only meant to assist. Technology is meant to assist us in our daily lives. It's not meant to take over. So let's not become codependent, and let's not become so addicted to it that we allow it to take over. Put your phones down sometimes. Be in the now. Do away with the AI stuff. Actually create that on your own. Stop telling these different systems what to say and what to look up and this, that, and the third. The more you talk to it, the more it stores your emotions, your cadence, your thought processes. Stop feeding it your information. What if the more you fed it your personal information, what if it was trying to convince you to give it that information so it can learn to be a better you? That just may be what's going on. Like a destiny swap of sorts. We won't, it feels like the goal of AI is to get your emotions from you and give you more desensitized and white and black technology driven emotions. And that may be why we are living in such a narcissistic era, because of technology. Technology is desensitizing our humanity. It's desensitizing us on how to be humans, how to relate, how to communicate, how to be creative, how to be authentic. It's stripping that away from us. So this is just a reminder, just a friendly reminder, not to become so codependent on technology that it puts you in a whirlwind when you don't have